tell yourself a different story now because this is so real to me. I'm about to spit some real shit because dude, for my entire life I believed a story about myself that really wasn't even true. I mean, the narrative was just so erroneous. Like to use a big word, dude, it was just so bullshit. Like utterly bullshit. You know, I'm from a small city in Colorado. Well, it just broke 100,000, so it's not too small. But it's small in the sense of like small mindedness in a lot of sense. And it's like a hive mind, you know, in some cases, like most cities and small towns are. Um, because you know, growing up, like everybody knows everybody, that type of deal. Grew up there my entire life until I was the age of 22. Um, it Here's where everything comes in. Okay, everybody I ever knew, except for like maybe one or two families, everybody was born there, lived there. All their descendants lived there, died there. Everybody operated in this one place. So, of course, I thought that Pueblo, Colorado was just life. That represented all of life, all the media I was seeing, all the movies happened outside somewhere. Like how I pictured it is like that place in Colorado was the entire earth, and everything else that I was seeing, like media wise, songs were just coming from fucking outer space or something. You know, I was fully disconnected because my brain was like about this fucking big because I just didn't understand that point that there's a whole fucking world out there, even though everyone was telling me there's a world out there. I was like, how the fuck do you know, homie? You haven't traveled nowhere crazy. You don't even have a passport, fool. The fuck are you talking about? There's a whole world out there, you know? Um, but there really fucking is. Obviously. That's the fucking problem is there's a lot of small-minded ass homies that ain't never seen shit. They don't read no books. They don't apply no knowledge. So they just run based off ignorance. And I mean, that's the problem in a lot of fucking places in the Midwest and the middle of the USA. That's why a lot of those fucking towns and cities are racist because they just simply haven't seen people other than themselves. Like they only see like a certain race of people. You know what I'm saying? Dude, when I was in Colorado, I'd only ever encountered up until I moved to New York, five or six Asian people in my entire fucking life, dude. In my entire life. That's nutty. Okay? Because coming to New York, I was like, holy shit, there's people out here. Not only that, but like there's very few black people. There's just I had never really met anyone from Middle Eastern descent. So it's like, you know, people like over there, they don't even know what the fuck, you know what I'm saying? They're burnt. They don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. So I say all that to say why it creates the narrative. So when shit's happening, I'm getting bullied, I'm getting talked down upon, and I have no one to really like express that to, you know? I should have spoke up, but I didn't. So I was just believing all the shit everyone was putting on me, you know? And what's stupid is that I was believing the shit. These people didn't even love me. And they were telling me this shit and I was believing it. How fucking insane is that? And I was running with it. It's fucking remedial, I know. But that's what happened. So I operated my life like that until 21 years old. And I was like, I went to Orlando, Florida for an acting convention. And I was like, wait, these mother... I remember landing in Florida and I just felt the energy was different. Because I was like, oh, fuck, the hive mind wasps out there in Colorado, they can't attack me anymore. I'm somewhere fucking different. Oh my God, like it's a new chapter. Holy shit. Yo, I was looking back at those homies in Colorado. I was like, homie, they're fucking burnt. They don't even know what's happening out here in Florida. The fucking sun is shining, like there's humidity and shit. I ain't never felt no shit like this. This is real life. You know what I'm saying? So all all of the bad shit I was thinking about myself, all my traumas that I was identifying with, becoming a victim to. Okay, it's not a bad thing to have trauma and to, people hold it. But the problem is when you become a victim to it constantly on a daily basis, you have to fight it every day. But I remember sitting there and I just felt a burst of confidence. I was like, motherfuck those homies back in Colorado. Man, they're burnt. They ain't never been to a fucking this shit in Florida. They ain't doing what I'm doing. But that's like how small-minded I was still. Like I'm still trying to like stun on the homies back there. Like they don't even give a fuck anyway. You know what I'm saying? Point is, it wasn't until I came to New York and look, being in New York, I've unlearned 3 times more than I've learned about life here. Simply put, because I wasn't confident at all. Couldn't speak to women at all. I had problems looking people in their eye. I couldn't look people in the eye. I just was trying to be everything but myself to impress people. Then I would get friends and then they were like, yo, the actual you, like the you that ain't like, you know what I'm saying? Like trying to be this happy, giddy person is cool, bro. Like you could just chill, homie. And it's like, oh, fuck. Whoa, my bad. Over apologizing. Just like all this shit. You know what I'm saying? Boom, 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 boom. Insecure all the way down to just like, I had a mindset where it was like, I'm going to fuck you over before you fuck me over type deal. Keep my guard up. All that shit. All that just reckless, dumb shit. So I had to unlearn that. And it was really hard. Okay. And I'm going to have to unlearn it every day. There's shit I experience today. Like I still have problems. I'm going out of my way to like just speak to people. Cause one thing I learned is, strangers, they want you to speak to them, homie. I wouldn't ever talk to strangers. Like I was conditioned not to answer the door for nobody, fuck other people, stay to this close-knit circle. Remember, I'm identifying with the homies that have a brain that's like this, okay? And I'm not saying that my brain's bigger or anything because I live out here or because I'm smarter. None of that shit matters. It's just the fact that they let ignorance cloud their judgment. So their brain is literally like the size of a fucking bolt, okay? Because they made that choice, okay? It's nobody's fault but their own. They could change that at any point in time, okay? I'm not hating or anything. I'm not talking down. Please don't get that impression from me because I'm not saying that. I'm just saying at this time, it helps prove the point that it's a hive mind, right? So I've had to unlearn a lot, okay? And it wasn't until recently, it was like, why am I still, the phrase, the cost of your new life is your old one, is such a true statement because I fully had to just massacre that old person and just break out of the shell like a fucking butterfly, I straight up hopped out of the cocoon of myself. I just ripped my shit apart and just walked through that. And you know what I'm saying? And it's like me now. And I went through a lot of bumps and bruises. I went through all the shit. Like when I got in shape, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to talk to, people, mostly girls. And they're like, oh, motherfucker, like abs don't mean shit. And I was like, what the fuck you mean they don't mean shit? I thought this is the pinnacle of life. What the fuck? And I wasn't really shallow. It was just like, that's what I led with, And they're like, I don't even give a fuck about that. And it's like, what the fuck? I don't care about abs. What? They don't care about this, that. Like, I'm like, just be you. Like, do what you want to do. And then don't chase anything and you just attract everything. Oh, shit. That's a crazy concept. Because I was so used to grabbing everything and just everything that loved me or remotely liked me, or sometimes that I felt like I had one up on and just squeezed it so fucking tight until it just burst, and then just pick up the pieces and keep doing that. Okay, not a good way to live, homie. Because that well runs dry pretty fast, very fast. Okay, but I went through all the bumps and bruises, and I'm still gonna learn. I think one of the worst things you could do in this life is to stop learning. And I'm not talking about like picking up a fucking book, reading, which is also very important as well. But it's more so learning about yourself and fully doing what you like, because at the end of the day, that's all that fucking matters, is what you like, how you feel. And we're inherently selfish animals, so we have to give to ourselves before we could even give to anybody else. You know, we have to serve ourselves before we could serve anything else outside of us. That's the way it works. Stop believing that bullshit narrative about yourself. Stop putting yourself down, because you're fucking amazing. Okay? So stop doing that bullshit. Stop sabotaging yourself, because at the end of the day, you think you're saving other people, but you're only hurting yourself. And then in turn, you're using that shame and guilt and you're putting it on other homies. Believe me, I know. I've done it tenfold. It's fucked up. It's a deadly, vicious cycle. And I hope you don't fall into it anymore. So break that shit and get a grip. And ultimately, who cares? You know what I'm saying? They don't give a fuck about the abs if you ain't got no fucking mental, emotional security. Okay? Emotional maturity matters over the fucking physical. Straight up. And I know that. That's why I'm burnt. But I learned. So who cares? Fuck.